Today we're gonna plant the garden, but first we're gonna take care of some Mother's Day stuff.
Down for Mother's Day. Mother's Day. Moms. This is asparagus seasoned with Italian dressing, corn on the cob roasted, baked potatoes, smoked pork chops. And we're gonna grill up some bread too. All right, so it's windy out here, but it's time to start planting this garden. And it's always windy out here. We have a good concept this year for how we're gonna plant things. These have got to get moved. That's our sweet snap peas. Strawberries are already coming up, flowering. Got some here too. This shadow that you see here will eventually be over the center of this, right in this area, from about here to here, most of the afternoon hours through the summer. The sun does move this way some. As it sets down, it kind of goes for that onion over. So we're going to plant our cold weather plants in here. We're getting everything in late. Everything's going all in at once. We're planting our plants that we have here, along with our seeds, all at once. Corn's going down there, watermelon, cantaloupe, and then we're having our tomato, cucumbers, celery, peppers, onions down here, broccoli, cabbage. Well, the onions will kind of go down here in this row right here, kind of edge of this cold line. And then I'm calling this area from here to here our cold plant line because it gets shade. Tomatoes, peppers down here, onions, broccoli, cabbage, kohlrabi, zucchini, all kinds of stuff's going in here. And then cantaloupe, watermelon, and a whole bunch of corn and potatoes. And that's how we're going to do this. So I'll show you how we plant each kind of thing. We're going to start with, I think, the onions, or maybe the tomatoes. Maybe we'll just start up here. Now in the past we've made kind of sporadic gardens. We've put the cherry tomatoes in a big circle. We've grown cucumbers up this pole right here. We've done all kinds of things. This year we're just doing straight rows this way. We've actually planted long ways before. We've done it lots of ways. This year we're going to leave a tiller line on each side and then straight rows, 32 inches in between each row, because I have a 16-inch tiller. And as the plants fill in, I'll have one row. Till the plants fill in, I can go down twice in between all the plants. It's just to keep it simple for us, make it a little easier on us. And because we'll just have straight rows. Make it easier for harvest and easier for weeding and tilling. So that might come out and go wherever we're going to plant cucumbers, which are probably going to be somewhere over in this area. Celery will go up there, and tomatoes and peppers will go in through here. Then we're going to do onions. We might even do a small patch of garlic, which usually goes out in November, but we're planting everything right now. And we have done this before in the past, and it's all worked out okay. And we've changed up when we've planted things. This year it's all going to be done at the same time. So let's get started. I guess we'll start right up here. We'll measure off our 32 inches. I want about 32 inches, which you can kind of see where the tiller lines are. We're going to kind of go with those. But they're a little wavy. We're going to try to make a straight line. And I think we're going to do, well, I'm not sure. We'll go through our plants and we'll get this figured out, and then we'll get back with you here in a few minutes. I just want to say real quick, while Tammy's standing there thinking, this is going to be a long one. We're going to try to keep it as short as possible, but I'm going to show you everything that we plant, everything, at least bits of it. And then I'm going to walk you around the yard and show you some of the stuff we've got growing already. So hopefully you're willing to stick around and spend some time with us today, because you're gonna get a lot of what we're doing this summer in this vlog. All right, so let's get going. Okay, so we've decided to put our snap peas, sugar snap peas, right here. We're using this garden net. It's just plastic. Keep birds out of trees, or you can use it to grow things on. Put 3 stakes on here. We're gonna zip tie them to the metal post, and then we're gonna plant snap peas right down here along this string right here we have ran. And we're just gonna plant these as seeds. About every 3 inches. Maybe one there, one there, one there, you know what I mean?
See, I do it totally different every year. I do it one on each side.
Do you come out here and water?
Just go
or
through-
do
oh,
you
that's-
just let nature do it?
No, we have to water.
Gets too dry. And probably the wind contributes, because it's always windy out here.
You could probably go maybe even heavier than that, about twice as many.
Well, I know, because you know what?
They're gonna
last
come up
year,
both.
The birds got some of them.
Yeah.
They did.
What, do they dig them out?
Yeah.
See the little bits stick up. And
They get most of our sunflowers we plant too.
You guys got little fake owls?
Yeah.
They don't do nothing?
Yeah, they don't move or nothing, but they keep stuff away, I think.
You know, the doves, though. Whoops, I went heavy.
You ever tried,
They come out here and they don't even.
All right, so we're gonna finish out this row from here on with Trichia jalapenos. Team's gonna plant Trichia jalapenos, and then this offset here from this is our wild garlic, our asparagus. Look at this guy. Look at this asparagus, Serenity. Look at that thing. It's humongous, and that guy's big too. But got a bunch of them coming up. And then we got our wild garlic. I might leave a small area right here, or I might just plant. I think I'm gonna do kale. Got 2 types of kale and some carrots. Rainbow carrots, regular carrots, and then 2 types of kale. And I'm gonna plant all that right here in this kind of offset, okay? Because this is our first row right here, and there's a little offset. So I'm gonna do kale all along here, carrots, and then down in here, I think I have 4 or 6 celery plants. I'm gonna plant them right along the outside edge so they get plenty of sun. But this is our old compost pile right here, this circle, and it tilled up real nice. I'm just gonna plant the celery right here. They like this rich soil, and then that'll keep our celery, carrots, kale, and then this will be Trichia jalapenos and sugar snaps there. And then the second row we're going to go into our probably sweet peppers down here by the Trichias, maybe hot peppers down here on this end. Not sure. And then we're gonna have to start getting into some tomatoes, probably the Roma tomatoes, or we might do a couple rows of half rows of Roma tomatoes, because I'd like to separate the sweet peppers from the hot peppers somehow. So I might put the tomatoes in between the peppers. And to finish out a sweet pepper row, I'll probably use a Roma tomato of some sort. So, all right, we're gonna keep going. Kale, carrots, celery. Tammy's gonna plant these Trichia jalapenos. All right, so now we got our snap peas. Here's the Trichia jalapenos. 8 of those. We've got kale up to about here, about this pole. And then right in front of here is 2 rows of, well, it's kind of sporadic. I just sprinkle them out there. Regular carrots and rainbow carrots. And we got our 4 celery down here in the old compost pile. I got enough room I can take my tiller around here, even after stuff's grown up. Now we got a lot of room left here, so we're gonna finish this row off with eggplant. And it looks like I gotta move this mound over a little bit. Now, with my celery, I left them kind of indented. You can't really tell, but this is concave. You see that? So that the water will kind of set in the bottom there. And then some of our plants like these, we have real sandy soil. She'll put up on mounds, kind of a mound. And this stays wet. See, this soil, it gets dry and hard and crusty on the top, but as soon as you dig down in, this stays real moist for a long time. It's really good soil for planting. We're blessed in that aspect. But we're gonna get these eggplants in and then probably move on to aroma. I might do one full row of aromas. I don't think I have that many. I think we might only use this front part of this garden, like up to that pole. And most of that down there is just going to be rows and rows of corn and watermelon and cantaloupe. Might even have like a section over here for cucumber. Not sure. But most of our garden will be right up here in this front kind of section. Which is, this garden I think is 50 by 100. Might be bigger. So we got about 50 feet across and 100 foot long, so it's quite a bit of room. Mother's Day in it.
No.
Alright, so we got all that iceberg lettuce, and we're gonna try to separate this with iceberg lettuce down through here, and then we'll go back to the
She was upset.
sweet peppers.
You could tell she was upset.
Actually, I'll probably do hot peppers down here and sweet peppers down there, so the sweet peppers are closer to the sweet peppers,
You could just tell she was upset.
or something like that. Which I might do sweet peppers and aromas and then hot peppers
Yeah.
and tomatoes.
She had dark hair.
That's probably what I'll do. Aromas and sweet peppers here on the next row, or finish out this row. I'm not sure how much of the lettuce will do. And then I'm gonna move on to our tomatoes, and we'll put the hot peppers in between the tomatoes. All right, so we got all of our lettuce, and we finished out the row with the cabbage. Kind of disregarded the whole cold weather in here area. A lot of shadow back in here, so that's gonna change throughout the day though, and the season. Anyway, we got cabbage here. Now our next row, we're gonna do Roma tomatoes. Finish it off with probably the sweet peppers. So we'll do Roma tomatoes and sweet peppers next. We have colossal sweet peppers and Roma 3. Now I don't do anything different to my Roma tomatoes, but when we get to my big tomatoes, I do a little bit. That's what all this stuff is. It's heavy compost, and I'm going to show you what we do there. And then for our onions, I'll show you how we plant those. Those are a little different too. Now the only fertilizer I use is a 16 pellet fertilizer, and I spot fertilize everything. I don't fertilize the entire garden other than wood ash through the winter. I put all of our wood ash on the garden until that end, and then where the plants are, I spot fertilize with pellet fertilizer. It's a Scott's 16, and I put more on my tomatoes, more on my celery, some under my onion, and then my other plants I just give a little bit. And it's basically, the pellet is just a 16% nitrates, phosphates, and sulfates. So that's how we do it. And then the corn, once it comes up, you don't start fertilizing until about 6 inches tall, or their secondary leaves have come on. So when your plants have got their secondary leaves, that's when you'll start fertilizing. Now our pepper plants, my trichia jalapenos and my sweet peppers, I don't do anything to them. My hot peppers, I do clip the top. I prune the top of the pepper plant, and I'll show you when we plant those, but we're trying to get them separated a little bit from these sweeter peppers. So all right, next is Roma tomatoes and sweet peppers, and we're going to get those planted. Now these Roma tomatoes, they'll turn into a big bush, and they'll pretty much take over this whole kind of area right here. Probably halfway into that row. They'll probably be about this wide. All the way down through here. They'll all be growing together. All the way down to where those peppers start. Well, nothing but Roma tomatoes in here. Oh yeah, and I left a double space here, but this is gonna get kind of big. They don't get huge. Big peppers, but plants don't get real big. These Roma tomatoes will. Okay, from here on I got just a little bit of space so I can get my tiller around here. And I like to leave extra space because all these plants are going to be growing in and I don't have to mess with them. See, there's quite a bit of space in between there and you're like, oh well, more room for weeds to grow. But when you can run your tiller down there and work down here and not have to mess with it and be able to hoe easy, it just makes it a lot easier, trust me. So here we're going to leave some space and then we're going to start our next row somewhere in here, probably up here, just enough I can get the tiller through here, probably right in here. And I think we're going to do onions next. So I think we're going to throw some onions in here. Maybe do one row, or I don't know. I don't know if I have enough for one. Probably one row of onions. See the little pellets down in there? I'm going to mound that up and then we'll plant the onions in the top of that. Okay, so down the furrow, we got the fertilizer. And then we got this mounded up now. All the way down, we're going to run our onions. Basically just like this. Now I like to plant them far up as I can right now. And then I'll come back and clean this all off once they get set. I'll come and clean all this dirt out. But if I don't cover them up right now, the birds will pull them out. So I like to put them in and push them down as hard as I can get them. And it's supposed to rain tonight and tomorrow, which is another reason we want to get these in. And that rain will help set this dirt too, make it a little crusty on the outside and a little harder to pull these onions out. So that's what we want to do. Okay, so I had enough Valdelli onions to pretty much do this whole row. I'm skipping this row and I'm going to do red onions here. And we're not going to do the double rows like we've been doing because onions don't bush out. So we're going to we'll run the tiller down through here. Now I have these planted. It'll kind of push this over a little bit. And then we're going to do a third row right here of these sweet onions. I don't know if these are going to make it or not. They look sad. But we're going to try to plant them in here. I may have to replant the sweet onions. I mean the sugar onions. And I have to get some red onions. But we're going to do 3 rows right through here. And I won't have the red onions in yet. Of onions. Then I'm going to skip this whole area. I might put the zucchini in here somewhere. The kohlrabi I might put in somewhere over here. And I might do cucumbers in here. But our big tomatoes, I'm going to plant on the other side of this cable so that they have full sun all day. And then we'll have to do our hot peppers probably out, maybe finish the row on those onions. And then we'll do a small watermelon and cantaloupe patch, and then the back corner from about that point on. This will all be corn, we'll have watermelon, cantaloupe. We'll probably do hot peppers somewhere in here, and our tomatoes all kind of through here. And this will be cucumber, and we still have broccoli that we haven't found yet that we want to get for over here. Broccoli and kohlrabi we do have already. And then we'll probably put the zucchini somewhere in here along with the cucumber plants. And some of those plants we got cucumber wise, we got from Dan and Kathy over Handicapped Traveler. They sent us a bunch of plants we are going to be using, or seeds we are going to be using their watermelon seeds that they sent us for a watermelon patch. We're going to do a pumpkin patch out here as well. I don't know if it'll be in the garden or out by the barn. But we're going to plant some pie pumpkins and some jack-o'-lantern pumpkins. And I'm going to use this tractor to plant the corn. And basically, this makes a little furrow for the seeds. This spaces the seeds out perfectly through that little disc, and then there's a bunch of different discs. Right now we have the corn one in. And then the chain covers it back up. See that? Opens the furrow, seed drops in, and then the chain covers it back up. Now this comes down and it marks your rows. So we'll just take probably won't do this today because my rototiller part's on its way, and this back part right here I have to till again along with like this. So maybe some of our larger tomatoes that won't go out today. Probably just get this part of the garden planted today. And Tammy and them are out planting sunflower seeds right now all around. Different types. And some of the sunflower seeds we got from Dan and Kathy over Handicapped Traveler as well. We are planting some orange sunflowers and mammoth sunflowers and some multicolored and some Mexican sunflowers. We found a golf ball. All different kinds of sunflowers around here periodically. No real rhyme or reason to that. Just all over the property. And the tiller part, hopefully when it comes in today, I'll be able to get that fixed and it'll be even better. If I can't, we are going to buy a new cultivator. Hopefully we don't have to do that. But here are the tomatoes we'll be growing, and some of our hot peppers. I showed you them. Jalapenos, ancho peppers, the Carolina Reaper. I do have some Burpless Bush. Here's the corn, and I don't know, I think it should do 3 or 4 rows. It is a hybrid sweet corn, bodacious, and it is 75-day maturity. We're going to be planting German Johnson, some Cherokee Purple, some Arkansas Travelers, and some Beef Masters, Mountain Fresh, and Celebrities. And what are these? Rutgers. And some Rutgers. And we already got Romas in. And then we got 4 kohlrabi down there. And I do have this So Easy hot pepper mix. But I don't know what they are. So I don't know. We might finish out a row with these. Not sure. And that'll be like a grab bag of hot peppers. Here's some of our pumpkins we'll be planting. I don't think they're going to come out here. We don't plant parsley in the garden. We might plant that out back somewhere though. Watermelon. This is the watermelon we'll be planting. We got some cucumber. Some more lettuce seed. More pumpkin. Okra, and I wasn't sure if I was going to plant any of this or not. I still might. I'm not sure. Got some chives, which I'd like to plant. A bunch of pie pumpkin seeds that will till up a big area, and we'll just plant a bunch of pumpkins. Just let it take over. Hopefully we'll have a bunch of pumpkins this fall. I try to do that all the time. Some years it works good, and some years I don't get that many, so I don't know. But try every year. It's worth a shot. All right, so zucchini, and I showed you where we're going to plant that, and the corn. And I don't know if we're going to get to the tomatoes today. They may have to wait. I'd like to get them in the ground though because of the rain, so you just never know. All right, so I got this set up for the corn. I'm gonna space it this far apart. It should be about 18 inches. That's more than 18, but I'm just gonna run these rows. I'm not too worried about it. I haven't re-tilled this. There are some weeds out here, but we're just gonna go for it. You just put your corn in like this, and then make sure you push down. Kind of see how it's making a furrow. There, just drop the corn. Cover it back up. We're just gonna walk down. Like this. See, it's dropping it. It was dropping two sometimes. Two at a time. I gotta go faster. I'm gonna get two at a time. But that's kind of what we're doing. And we'll just run a row back and forth, back and forth. When they come up, then we'll weed in between a couple times. And when that starts going up, I just let it go. So I may do, if I get 4 rows and I have some corn left, I'm gonna skip an area and then do more rows, killdeer, and then do another few more rows so I can put potatoes in between them. But I want about 3 to 4 rows before I stop. So see how far this gets. Yeah. Honestly, I don't even use this thing usually because you have to flip this every time you stop on a row. Alright, so we got 4 rows of corn. Skip for potatoes. 4 rows of corn. Skip for potatoes. 4 rows of corn. And then we're going to do tomatoes right here, or maybe tomatoes here, these 2 rows, kind of jump back and forth, zigzag, and peppers here, maybe a few tomatoes, and then we're going to do cucumbers here, both our burpless and the ones that Dan sent us, and then we're going to do the watermelons that Dan and Kathy from Handicap Traveler sent us over there as well. So we're going to do like 3 mounds of watermelon and maybe 3 mounds of cucumber, tomatoes and peppers. I'll show you how I plant one of my tomatoes, my peppers. I'm just planting them down a regular row, and I'm going to snip off the top of my hot peppers. I can show you that. My tomatoes I do a little bit different than some people, and I'll show you what I do there. All right, so we're going to start right here with the tomato, and you just want to dig down. A lot deeper than what you're going to plant. So it all depends on how deep you're going to be planting your plants. It's how far you want to go down. I'd say about 12 to 18 inches. Get you a nice good hole. I do like my tomatoes to be leggier than these are. But I'm going to take some really nasty compost, old chicken grease and stuff, and put it right down in the bottom of this hole. Okay, cover this up. And then we'll pull off some of these bottom leaves. And I'm gonna plant this all the way up to as deep as I can. This whole stem. Just like that. Now I'm gonna make a furrow around the outsides of the water and collect and stay, especially when I'm watering it or when it rains. It'll run off of this, away from the leaves. Pack that down good and tight. Then when I fertilize it, I'll also fertilize this furrow. I'll try to keep this in it all year. Keep water in here. And that's how I'm going to plant all my tomatoes. As deep as I can. Heavy compost in the bottom. Start fertilizing them later. And I'll show you how to prune them when they get a little taller. And I just put a concrete cage around them. Like rebar. So I've grown some pretty big tomatoes. And this is how I plant mine. Hopefully this helps you. What I mean by clipping the top, see this? I just took the top of that pepper off. That's my Carolina Reaper there. I'll do that to all my peppers. I won't do it to my jalapenos though. Just my hot, super hots. Alright, so we got our 4, 8, 12 rows of corn. We're gonna have 2 to 4 rows of potatoes. I think 2. I'm just gonna put them down the center. So 2 full rows of potatoes. We've got our Carolina Reaper, 4 ancho, 4 jalapeno, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 2 purple Cherokee, 2 celebrity, 2 German Johnson, 2 beefsteak, 2 mountain fresh, and 1, 2, 3, 4 Arkansas Travelers. And I think there's another one, but I can't remember what it is. We got cucumbers in here, watermelon in down there. Got some dead space here. We can plant something, not sure what. Zucchini here, kohlrabi there. Onions, we're gonna put in red onions. Strawberries. Just set aside onions we use for green onions and seeds. But look, my tomatoes are in the shade and my stuff's in the sun at night, and that's not good, but that's what I was trying to avoid, and I kind of flip-flopped it. But as the summer goes on, it's actually going to change some, and there'll be more sun down there and vice versa. So I think it's going to be okay. But we got our Roma tomatoes here, our colossal green peppers there. We've got iceberg lettuce and cabbage, super snap peas, sugar snap peas, trickster jalapenos and eggplant, kale, garlic, asparagus, rhubarb and horseradish, carrots and celery, and sunflowers. So that's quite a bit to plant in one day. And we got her done. All right, let's walk around and just kind of see what we do have growing right now, and then we'll call this a day. So the flowers are up. Some of them bloomed and died. Some of them are starting to bloom right now. You can see these are gigantic ones. Some of the stuff's really getting thick in here. Pretty. There's a Star of Bethlehem. Hostas. And we have different flowers that come on at different times out here. Alright, let's go look in the backyard. The honeysuckle out here, that thing's been blossoming. It smells wonderful. That's one we've foraged. Tammy's little, there's a mum back there, some flowering plants there, and back there, those are lilies. This is a honeysuckle bush here too. And she's got all these. And we did get the deck stained, which looks nice. Gives it kind of leather look. It's dark brown, light brown. Looks nice. Leather is what it's called. And then here's Tammy's like moss garden, shade garden. Those are pretty. Let's go over there and take a closer look. She got ferns back there. Hear the bees? This thing's getting power washed this year and painted. You can see it needs it. These irises are beautiful. Here's the broken peach branch from last year I just propped up here, and look. That happened last year. This spring I tied it up here and I kind of wired it on. And look at this. Peaches all over this broken branch. I'm not even joking. Isn't that crazy? And this thing is loaded in peaches. Loaded. Look at this. The zombie tree is killing it this year. And it's like that everywhere. This tree's pretty good too. It's got a lot of peaches on it. Like everywhere. The little one has a few. We didn't really trim this one. And it's only got a couple peaches. This one we trimmed, but it doesn't have a lot of peaches, but it does have some. And this one we barely trimmed at all, which it really needs to get cut down, and I'm gonna do it again. And it has some peaches. Right there's one. But not very many. It does have some though. Crab apple's gonna have a ton of apples on it. It had a ton of apples. We're gonna get apples on the tree too. I didn't see a lot of blossoms down here, but at the top there was a bunch. That's all getting cut out this next year. I'm cutting that whole top out this next year. Here's our new tree we nursed back from a stump. And it's got apples too. You can see them in there. See 'em? And then our raspberries. This one died last year and we brought it back. Now it's starting to spread all the way out into here. So I'm just gonna let it have this whole area. This one died last year, but I've got some coming out here. Oh no, they're gone. There was some coming out. Maybe right here. Right here, maybe. No, I weeded around them and now they're dead. The rabbits must have got them or something. Yeah, because they were coming up right here and I weeded all the way around them. But this thing died and then it came back and now it's dead again. I was all excited because it came back and I had some growing up out here, but it's gone again. And then this, it's got raspberries all over it. And it's growing outside of here too. It's coming way out all around both sides. See? This whole area is going to be a... Oh, there's one. There we go. Yeah, that's what I want right there. And that might be the one that was in there. I mean, it could have come back. And there's some out there. But yeah, it can have this whole section, can it? Now our grapes, they keep, when they spray this, if the wind's blowing, it'll get these. Hurts them. Burns them. Look at all them grapes on there. Can you see that? Can you see that? No, you can't see it. Let me see if I can get this. There is a ton of grapes on there. There you kind of saw it. Right there. See it? Can't get it to focus, but there they are. See them all? And they're everywhere. There's a ton of them. They're doing really good. There's gonna be a lot of grapes this year. Can you see all of them? They're like everywhere. But I've tried to protect it with this board so that they kind of block the direct spray. Hopefully that'll help. Cause yeah, she's loving it this year. Woo-wee. We're gonna have grapes galore as long as she don't die. I don't know why them leaves are all withered. Scary. So that's what we got going on. I don't have anything else. We're gonna do some pumpkins. I might do them out back. Not sure. We do have the cherry tree, and there are cherries on that. I'm gonna have to net it though, so that the birds don't get them. But there's some cherries growing in there. Just stems right now with flowers. Hopefully they turn into cherries. I think they will. Supposed to. But pretty excited. Look at that red flowers up there. That looks nice. The tree's not very old. Right, chickens? What's your name? Dinner? You're stew and you're fried, right? So I got rid of most of our mint, but this is our apple mint and this is our chocolate mint. Apple mint stops about right here, where this is. And this is our chocolate mint, and they are delicious. It's a little darker than the apple, see it? But we got the fence on, the electric fence on. Tammy tested it, and it's working. I ran my leg into it earlier, and it's definitely working. So hopefully that'll keep the rabbits out of there. Keep them off my lettuce and celery. I love celery. And we'll dry the celery out. We'll grow these as big as we can all year until fall. And then we'll dry that celery out and use it all year and for seasonings. Oh, I gotta pick that. Starting to look like a garden now. Thanks for coming along with us as we planted our 2024 garden. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'll keep you updated on how it's going. See you next time.